May I come in?
Nitik.
Good afternoon, sir.
So Nitik, what is the meaning of Nitik?
Sir, it means a person who follow rules. नीति के अनुसार चलने वाला.
So you are an electrical engineer
Yes.
and you passed out in 2020.
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing at present?
At present, I am preparing for civil services examinations.
Which subjects?
Uh,
What is your main subject? Which paper? Optional paper?
Optional, my philosophy.
Philosophy. Okay. And you already taken it twice.
Thrice, sir.
Thrice you already taken it.
Yes.
Okay. So from electrical engineering, you didn't get any opening, or you don't want to do it? What is it?
I thought civil services will be a good career for me. That's why I switched to this after engineering.
Okay. So this thought came to your mind that you should have taken BA philosophy in after 12th.
No, sir. I thought engineering was during 11th, 12th standard. I thought engineering will be a good option for me, as I really enjoyed studying engineering related topics and subjects. During engineering, I thought as a career aspect, I think I want to be a civil servant.
Because there is a very famous Hasya Vyang poet who says that in India people do engineering first and then they decide what to do. What do you think?
So we see that many people choose only engineering as graduation. They think it is the only option.
Okay.
But in my case, I think choosing engineering was a well thought decision.
Okay.
I was given all the options, and then I chose engineering.
The electricity requirement of our country
Yes.
is how much? Is there any idea you have?
Sir,
Because power requirement is a main instrument over which all other things are dependent at present. Whether it is manufacturing setup, whether it is domestic setup, whether it is any other industry, whether it is transportation, so everything. So what would be our power requirement? Any idea how much is this and how much we are producing?
sir, in the range of 400 something gigawatt we are producing right now, and the demand is slightly higher, and it is going to go up only in the future.
And do you have any idea about the breakup that how it has been produced from various sectors like non-renewable energy sources directly from hydroelectric options or nuclear or wind energy? Is there any breakup you are aware of? Solar?
Yes, sir. Approximately 70-75% we are getting from coal energy, and the nuclear energy is 1.5%. We get from large hydroelectric dams, we get approximately 10% energy. Rest we get also from solar energy and wind energy and other renewable energy resources.
How much are we producing by solar at present in gigawatts?
Sir, I am not aware of this number.
Okay. Electricity saved is electricity generated.
Yes.
Can we store electricity?
Yes, sir. In batteries we can store energy.
At a very it is a commodity which has very zero shelf life, as they say. because whatever is produced. So how much can you store in a battery, or on a mass scale?
Yes, sir. On mass scale, it is not economically viable, and that's why the huge amount of electricity that we generate, it is at the same time it is being consumed, because at that scale, storing it in batteries is not possible.
And how we can reduce the losses, or how can we have more usage within the same electricity which is available to us? Because what is the demand? Everybody is saying that this is the demand, but most of the fellows or the countrymen or the political compulsion or the generally is that free of cost electricity. So if you start charging, people say that, well, it's a different thing. Free of charge, the demand goes up. So what do you think, that how can we reduce the losses in the current system, and what can we do? Is there are technologies available, or have we implemented some technologies?
Yes, sir. Most of the energy losses are during transmission. New technology is being developed, especially in USA and European countries, which can reduce these losses, and India should actively try to incorporate this technology also. And with respect to giving free electricity, India have a very high amount of percentage which is being used in agriculture. I think around 15-16% of electricity total usage in India is in agriculture, and we know the government is providing heavy subsidies in agricultural sector, and recently governments are also giving free electricity to people in many cities. This creates a problem of careless usage. This can be rectified by making a limit up to which the electricity is free, and by choosing the people, providing the free electricity only to needy people required.
You have chosen philosophy as your subject.
Yes.
How is Indian philosophy different from the world, or is it not different?
Yes, sir. There are some similarities, but Indian philosophy is different from Western philosophy in the scope that almost all the Indian schools believe in the concept of karma, that there is a cycle of birth, rebirth, and it is explained by a metaphor that we have a bucket and we store apples in the bucket, or fruits, and if we do good karma, we get good fruits. If we do bad karma, we get bad fruits, and we have to eat those fruits in our lifetime. This is the basic concept of Indian philosophy. Most schools adhere to this system. Western philosophy, it is not true. They are very diverse in nature.
So, philosophy in itself, is it a theoretical science, or it needs to be practically proven?
Philosophy is a very broad discipline, we can say. It asks questions which we do not know answers of yet. I think even the science stream was once incorporated in philosophy. We know during ancient times many philosophers were also mathematicians and physicists, etc. So now we have a specific science branch which caters to the tangible aspects, and now philosophy is still asking questions which we do not know answer of yet. Maybe in future they will also be answered if we get the appropriate tools to answer them.
It is said that philosophy is more of practice, what you have studied in theory, to realize and to see for yourself. It's a laboratory where whatever has been told to you, you must practice it to know yourself, because there are many things which cannot be told by anybody to anybody.
It is said Indian philosophy is a way of life. It is not just theory.
Can you tell me that Assistant Provident Fund Commissioner?
Yes.
What is the meaning of commissioner? could have been assistant provident fund officer
Yes.
or assistant fund officer, something else. Why? Why commissioner?
I think there are many duties of the officer which include enforcing the act. There are also some quasi-judicial powers in this post. That's why commissioner would be a better word to describe this post.
Yeah, Nitik. So you play football, you watch football.
Yes, sir.
Since when?
I think around 5th, 6th standard I'm playing football.
Okay. So in for cricket, we have a very influential organization called BCCI, which runs it.
Yes.
Tell about the football administration in India.
Football administration is run by AIFF, All India Football Federation. It is the main organization which handles all the aspects of football in India.
Do you see any lacuna in which the football is being currently administered and run in India? The domestic circuit, the tournaments, the talent pool, include anything?
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Do you think any lacuna in which any shortcomings
Yes, sir.
in football administration right now?
Yes, sir. There are some issues that at the grassroots level, the identification of good players and their development is lacking somewhat in India, because the same amount of infrastructure and the same amount of economic resources are not there in football.
Okay.
Commercialization of a sport is very important, and the
So
football.
how should we commercialize football to the, at least if not to the extent of cricket, then at least to the extent of pro kabaddi league, if we have to say, because football falls very low in that hierarchy.
Yes. Recently, the India has started the Indian Super League, which is similar to the other sports main leagues.
But the revenue generation hasn't been anything comparable to.
Yes, sir.
So tell me the steps you would take if you are at the helm of affairs.
Yes, sir. The main attractive thing about football is the promotion and relegation system. It is a very good system where there are multiple leagues, and so we can create good grassroots level teams, promote the state level teams, and then a promotion and relegation system from state teams. They can go to national level leagues, and this will create.
Fine.
Yes.
How to draw audience to the stadium? That is the key question.
Yes, sir.
Try addressing that. I mean, how will you draw audience to the football stadiums so that it becomes commercialized and popular?
Sir, we know that international level, Indian fans are very excited. Bringing some international competitions to India, making some international matches, play friendly matches in India. This can really.
Okay. So Nitik, you have been head of security team in Thar. Thar, is it a college fest or what?
Yes, sir. It was a college technical fest.
Okay. But your personality, your physical appearance doesn't seem to, go with that.
Yes, sir.
Head of security team. So what precisely did you do?
Actually, it was majorly handling affairs between the college authorities and the local police station.
Okay.
The fest was on a large scale. That's why we had to request the local police station to provide some personnels, and then we had to communicate between our college authorities and them some documentation, etc. That was my main goal.
So how was your experience with the police administration?
It was very good. The police was very helpful.
Okay. Have you heard of Section 144?
Yes, sir.
Tell about it.
I'm not able
Never
to
mind.
recall right.
What is the difference between statutory and constitutional organizations?
Yes, sir. The constitutional organizations draw their power from constitution, as their provisions are written in constitution itself. But statutory organizations are made under a separate law passed by the parliament.
Fine. So in which category would EPFO fall?
EPFO is a statutory organization.
Okay. So the law has been amended from time to time.
Yes, sir.
Tell about a few amendments in EPF and MP Act.
I'm not
No,
able
no
to
issues.
recall specific.
In recently there was a Karnataka High Court judgment
Yes,
which
sir.
strike down a key provision of EPF scheme. You're
Yes,
aware
sir.
of that judgment?
Yes, sir.
Tell in brief.
Sir, there are provisions in the EPFO Act that foreign workers are also covered under the Act. The Karnataka High Court struck down this provision that foreign workers will be included on the basis that there is a limit of 15,000 to all the EPFO workers, but that limit is removed in case of foreign workers. That's why Supreme Court struck down, because it violated the fundamental right, Article 14, equality of law.
See, fine. So the honorable court's argument that Article 14 is being violated
Yes, sir.
when it comes to international worker versus domestic worker.
Yes.
What about Article 14 when it comes to domestic workers, where the limit of 15,000 is there? On one side, we are excluding a lot of workers. Suppose someone is earning 16,000 per month and he or she is willing to get the benefits of EPFO. So that is a discriminatory approach, and isn't that a violation of Article 14?
Sir, there are provisions that if you are earning more than 15,000, then you can voluntarily ask your employer.
So what if employer denies? Why would he agree? It will be an additional burden on the employer.
Sir, it has provision that if more than, I'm not 100% sure, but if majority of the workers agree, then
In the employer's agreement doesn't matter.
It will matter. But I think the employer
Will be coerced or will be forced to do it.
will, at least he will be.
You sure?
I think there is not a mandatory provision about it, but I think the employer will think about it.
Okay. Tell me the investment pattern. I mean, where does EPFO keep its money?
There is a separate fund for all the provident fund money that comes in it. 90% of the fund goes into debt, and 10% of it is invested in equity, approximately.
In debt, what are the debt instruments?
The government securities and some corporate
Corporate
bonds.
Which corporate bonds?
That I'm not
It
aware.
invests in ETF as well. You're aware?
No, sir, I'm
Exchange traded
not.
fund.
Exchange traded funds. Okay, sir, I was not aware of
Okay.
this.
Sir.
Okay, Nitik. So, you watch and play football.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you still do it?
Football, I'm not able to play recently.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And do you play TT also regularly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what about meditation?
That, sir, I regularly do.
Regularly. So, do you think that meditation has made you more introvert?
No, sir. Introvert. I think that was in my nature from always. I was a little less expressive and I like to talk less. But I do not think because it is because of meditation.
No, but do you think it has or it will intensify your introvert tendencies?
No, sir, I do not think so.
Achha, do you think this meditation has made you more self-critical?
So during meditation, we go on a journey of self-analysis and get to knowing oneself. But I do not think it go into the category of being self-critical. We just want to know ourselves in a better way.
Okay. So tell me some different types of meditations that you know of.
Sir, there can be transcendental meditation, there can be guided meditation, there can be breathing technique meditations.
What kind do you practice?
I do breathing technique meditation.
Okay. So how does it work?
It works in a way that our emotions and our breathing are interconnected. So if right now I'm getting emotional in any way, my emotions are coming on surface, then my breathing pattern will change. And now when we do meditation, we realize that the vice versa is also true. If my breathing is getting up and down, and if I just focus on my breathing and try to bring it to a normal level, the same will happen to my emotions.
Okay, have you heard of this thing called Shunya meditation?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
In this type of a meditation, we try to calm our mind and we try to focus on nothing. We try to completely empty our mind. We let no thought come to our mind, and that creates a peacefulness and blissfulness in oneself.
Okay, so in TT, India doesn't seem to be doing very well. India is behind most of the countries which do well, like China and
Yes.
other Southeast Asian countries. So, what do you think India should do to promote this sport?
Sir, identifying talent at the grassroots level is very important. We can see from example of China that they are identifying talent at a very young age. There are also schools and colleges specifically for table tennis, and in India we can also create some table tennis specific institutions in some districts.
Okay, so what are the key skills or talents required for table tennis, using which you can identify kids?
Uh, Reflexes are very important because the ball travels at a very fast pace, and one of the differentiator in table tennis is that it is highly dependent on swing
Okay.
and swing of the ball, and that's why a skill to identify the swing, to know what movement of my racket will create the swing, all these things will help a player.
So tell me the working principle in a refrigerator. How does a refrigerator operate?
Sorry sir, I'm not aware of it.
Air conditioner?
Yes sir, in air conditioning there is a cooling gas, and it travels from the air conditioning unit inside the house to the unit outside the house, and the coolant is compressed and uh, expanded, and when the coolant goes outside, the heat is being dissipated through a fan.
Okay, so what is this phenomena, or what is this called? The change in temperature with pressure.
Yes sir, there is
Is there any law
yes sir,
regarding?
there is a law. It's slipping my mind. I'm not able to recall the name. I'll look into it.
Okay. So you must have heard about semiconductors.
Yes, sir.
Right now we use semiconductors in various ways.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me what are the uses of semiconductors?
Sir, semiconductors are used in almost all the chips that we use nowadays. For example, all the technological devices such as mobile phones, air conditioning units, refrigerators, all the technological and electronic devices will use the semiconductors.
Okay, what are LEDs?
LEDs are light emitting diodes.
They also use semiconductor?
Sir, nowadays smart LEDs are coming. Mostly they are dominating the market, and they also use semiconductors.
So what is a diode?
Sir, I'm not able to recall it right now.
No problem. Sir, done. So your formal interview is now over. Now we'll start with the feedback.